What happens when the life you've built feels like a cage? Camila's night out sparks a crisis that could end her marriage or save it. A gripping tale of love, freedom, and second chances. Stay tuned. Camila Alvarez is a woman who seems to have it all: a fulfilling career as an event planner, a charming personality that draws people to her, and a husband who, on paper, is the definition of stability. At 34, Camila's life is filled with color and movement. But behind closed doors, she feels like a bird trapped in a gilded cage. Her suburban home, though cozy and tastefully decorated, feels stifling compared to the electric pulse of the city where she spends her working hours. Aaron Maxwell, her husband, is a quiet counterpoint to her energy. At 37, he's built a successful career as a software engineer, finding comfort in structure and routine. He's the kind of man who prefers a quiet dinner at home over the chaos of the city nightlife, a stark contrast to Camila's love for vibrant parties and social gatherings. Their city is a character in itself, a place of contrasts. By day, it's polished and professional, and by night it comes alive with neon lights, music, and possibilities. Camila thrives in this duality, but lately she feels more at home in the city's chaos than in the tranquility of her own living room. Their marriage, once a perfect balance of opposites, has become strained. Camila longs for freedom and excitement, while Aaron clings to the idea of a settled, predictable life. The cracks in their relationship are small but growing, and neither knows how to bridge the gap. Everyday life has become a quiet battlefield for Camila and Aaron. Conversations between them are curt, filled with the weight of unspoken grievances. When Aaron asks her how her day was, she answers mechanically, without meeting his eyes. When she tells him about her plans for the weekend, his response is a half-hearted nod. Camila's dissatisfaction isn't just with Aaron, it's with herself. She catches glimpses of her reflection and sees someone she barely recognizes. Where did the spontaneous, lively version of her go? The woman who used to take risks, laugh uncontrollably, and dance without a care? Now, every decision feels like a compromise. Every day like a step further from the person she used to be. Aaron, meanwhile, is caught in his own cycle of frustration. He feels like he's doing everything right, providing for them, being responsible, creating a stable life. Yet it seems like nothing he does is enough for Camila. He misses the woman he married, but he doesn't know how to reach her anymore. One evening, after another silent dinner, Aaron looks at Camila across the table. "Are you happy?" he asks quietly. The question lingers in the air, heavy and unanswered. Camila doesn't have the heart or the courage to tell him the truth she doesn't know. This is their reality: two people sharing a house but living in different worlds, their love buried under layers of resentment, misunderstanding, and unspoken desires. Something has to change, but neither knows where to begin. One evening, as Camila scrolls mindlessly through her phone, she gets a message from her best friend. "Sophia, let's hit the town this weekend, girls' night. You need it." The text feels like a lifeline. Sophia has always been her partner in adventure, someone who understands her in a way Aaron doesn't. The thought of getting dressed up, dancing, and laughing without a care in the world feels irresistible. At first, Camila hesitates. Her weekends are usually spent doing errands or watching TV with Aaron, a far cry from the vibrant nights she used to love. But as she stares at the message, something inside her stirs a longing she hasn't felt in ages. When she tells Aaron about her plans, his response is a quiet, dismissive "do whatever you want." There's no argument, no raised voice, just a tone that cuts deeper than any fight could. It's not the first time he's reacted this way, but tonight it stings more than usual. As she picks out her outfit, she wonders if he even cares what she does anymore. The night of the outing, Sophia greets Camila with a warm hug and a bottle of wine at her apartment. "Tonight we're forgetting everything," Sophia says with a grin, handing Camila a glass. By the time they step into the club, Camila feels lighter, her worries melting away in the glow of neon lights and the thrum of music. She isn't a wife tonight, or someone drowning in expectations. She's just Camila. As she takes her first sip of a cocktail, a thought crosses her mind: when was the last time I felt this alive? She can't answer it, but she knows one thing: she's not ready for the night to end. The club pulses with live music vibrating through the floor, people moving in sync under the flashing lights. Camila lets herself get lost in the moment, dancing with Sofia and laughing like she hasn't in years. It feels good, almost too good, to step out of her usual world. At the bar, Camila meets Nathan, the DJ for the night. He's magnetic, with an easy smile and a confident charm that feels intoxicating. When he offers her a drink, she hesitates for a moment but accepts, telling herself it's harmless. Their conversation flows effortlessly, filled with playful banter and flirtatious undertones. Camila knows she shouldn't let herself be drawn in, but she can't help it. For the first time in a long time, she feels seen. Nathan compliments her laugh, asks about her passions, and seems genuinely interested in who she is. It's a stark contrast to the quiet indifference she's felt from Aaron lately. When Nathan playfully reaches out to tuck a stray hair behind her ear, Camila steps back, her heart racing. She's suddenly hit with a wave of guilt, not because she's done anything inappropriate, but because she knows she's dangerously close to crossing a line. She excuses herself and returns to the dance floor, trying to shake the feeling. As the night wears on, Camila struggles with her emotions. On one hand, she feels alive and vibrant, but on the other, she's haunted by the thought of Aaron sitting alone at home. By the time the club closes, she's not sure what she's running toward or away from. Walking to the car with Sofia, Camila forces a laugh, but her mind is racing. The thrill of the night is already fading, replaced by a gnawing uncertainty about what's waiting for her at home. The house is dark when Camila arrives home, the stillness almost oppressive. The click of her heels echoes through the hallway as she steps inside, her buzz from the night rapidly fading. She expects Aaron to be asleep, as he usually is when she returns late. But tonight is different. She sees him sitting in the living room, the soft glow of a table lamp illuminating his face. He's still wearing the same clothes from earlier, and his posture is tense. On the coffee table in front of him, a stack of papers catches her eye. As she moves closer, her heart drops. Their divorce papers. Camila, Aaron says, his voice calm but heavy, "We need to talk." Her breath catches. "What is this?" she asks, gesturing to the papers. Aaron leans back, exhaustion evident in his expression. It's what happens when one person is trying to make this marriage work, and the other is already halfway out the door, he replies. Camila feels a wave of anger and shame. "You think I'm not trying?" she fires back. "You've been so distant, so critical. I feel like I'm living with a stranger." Aaron shakes his head. "And I feel like I'm married to someone who doesn't want to be here. I can't keep doing this, watching you slip further away. If this isn't what you want anymore, just say it." The ultimatum hangs in the air, sharp and unavoidable. Camila is stunned into silence. She feels exposed, as though Aaron has voiced the very doubts she's been trying to suppress. She wants to defend herself, to explain, but the words won't come. "I'm not asking for a decision tonight," Aaron continues. "But you need to figure out what you want, Camila. Because I can't keep holding on to something that's not real anymore." As he walks to their bedroom, Camila is left alone in the living room, staring at the papers. The weight of her choices presses down on her, and for the first time in years, she feels truly lost. In the silence of the living room, Camila sinks onto the couch, her head in her hands. The adrenaline from the night out is gone, replaced by an unbearable heaviness. She picks up the divorce papers, scanning the words she never thought she'd see in her own marriage. The thought of signing them terrifies her, but so does the idea of staying in a life where she feels so disconnected. Camila grabs her journal from a nearby shelf. Writing has always been her outlet, a way to untangle the mess in her mind. She flips through the pages, seeing happier entries from years ago. Her handwriting is carefree, her words full of hope. Now, as she writes, her pen feels heavier. "What happened to me?" she writes, tears blurring her vision. "When did I stop being the person I used to be? And when did Aaron and I stop being us?" Memories flood her mind of their early days, when they couldn't get enough of each other. Spontaneous road trips, nights spent talking until dawn, and the way Aaron used to make her laugh so easily. But there are also memories of the gradual shift of Aaron becoming more focused on work and her feeling more alone, even when he was right beside her. She starts to question everything. Is she running from Aaron or from herself? Has she been fair to him, or has she let her dissatisfaction cloud her view of the life they've built? And most importantly, can she find happiness without losing herself, or does she even know who she is anymore? As the night wears on, Camila finds no answers, only more questions. But one thing is clear: she can't ignore the cracks in her life any longer. It's time to confront not just Aaron, but the truth about what she really wants and whether she has the courage to fight for it. The next day, Camila meets Sophia for brunch at their favorite cafe, hoping to clear her head. Sophia is one of the few people Camila can confide in without fear of judgment. As Camila picks at her food, Sophia studies her with concern. "All right, spill," Sophia says, leaning forward. Camila hesitates, unsure of where to begin. Aaron wants a decision, she finally admits. "He left divorce papers on the table last night. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do." Sophia's eyes widen. "Divorce papers? Camila, that's serious." Camila nods, her voice trembling. "I feel like I'm being torn in two. I love him, but I don't feel like myself anymore. And when I try to talk to him, it's like we're speaking different languages." Sophia takes a sip of her coffee, considering her words carefully. "Look, you've always been a free spirit, Camila. You thrive on connection, on adventure. But marriage isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding a way to be yourself with someone else." Camila sighs, frustration bubbling to the surface. "It doesn't feel like that. It feels like I'm trapped, like every choice I make is wrong. I don't even know who I am anymore." Sophia reaches across the table, squeezing Camila's hand. "You're not lost, Cam. You're just stuck. But you can't make this about choosing between freedom and Aaron. You need to figure out what you want, what makes you happy, and then decide if there's room for him in that happiness." Camila stares at her friend, the words sinking in. "And what if there isn't?" Sophia hesitates before answering. "Then you owe it to both of you to let go. But don't make that choice out of fear or guilt. Make it because it's what's right." The conversation lingers with Camila long after she leaves the cafe. Sophia's words strike a chord, but they don't make the decision any easier. If anything, they force Camila to confront the truth she can't keep running from herself. Meanwhile, Aaron finds himself grappling with his own emotions. At work, he sits at his desk, distracted by thoughts of the previous night. His colleague and friend, Greg, notices his unusual silence and pulls him aside. "All right, man, what's going on?" Greg asks. Aaron hesitates but eventually opens up. "Camila and we're not in a good place. I gave her divorce papers last night." Greg raises an eyebrow. "Divorce? Are you sure that's what you want?" Aaron sighs, running a hand through his hair. "I don't know. I feel like I've been trying to hold this marriage together on my own. She's always chasing something, freedom, excitement, I don't even know what anymore. And I'm just tired." Greg leans back, folding his arms. "But have you told her that? I mean, really told her? Because it sounds like you're both assuming the worst about each other instead of actually talking." Aaron frowns, the words hitting a nerve. "It's not that simple. Every time I try to bring it up, it turns into a fight, or she shuts down. How do you talk to someone who doesn't want to listen?" Greg shakes his head. "You don't just talk. You show her. Show her that you're still in this, that you still care. But you also need to figure out if you're willing to meet her halfway, because if you're not, then maybe those papers are the answer." The conversation stays with Aaron as he drives home that evening. He realizes that he's been so focused on what he's losing that he hasn't considered what Camila might be feeling. The idea of meeting her halfway scares him, but he knows Greg is right. If he wants to save their marriage, he needs to stop waiting for Camila to come back to him and start reaching out to her instead. Aaron decides to make one last effort to bridge the gap, but he knows it will require vulnerability, something he struggled with for years. The tension in the house is almost palpable when Camila gets home that evening. she finds Aaron sitting in the kitchen, a cup of coffee in front of him. For a moment, she considers walking straight to the bedroom, avoiding the inevitable. But something about the way he looks up at her, hopeful, yet uncertain, makes her pause. "Can we talk?" Aaron asks softly. Camila nods, setting her bag down. "Yeah, we need to." They sit across from each other, the silence stretching as they gather their thoughts. Finally, Aaron breaks it. "I'm sorry for blindsiding you with the papers. That wasn't fair." Camila's surprise shows on her face, but she doesn't interrupt. "I've been angry," he continues. "Not just at you, but at myself. I've been so focused on what I think we're supposed to be that I forgot to ask what you need." Camila exhales, her hands fidgeting in her lap. "I feel like I've been drowning, Aaron. I love you, but I don't love who I've become. And I don't know how to balance being your wife and being myself." Aaron nods, his eyes filled with a mix of guilt and determination. "I can't promise to fix everything overnight, but I want to try to actually listen, to figure out how we can make this work for both of us." Camila feels a flicker of hope, but fear lingers. "And what if we can't?" Aaron reaches across the table, taking her hand. "Then at least we'll know we gave it everything we had. But I'm not ready to give up, not yet." Their conversation lasts for hours, peeling back layers of resentment, fear, and misunderstanding. It's raw, painful, and far from perfect, but it's the first real connection they've had in months. By the end, they both realize that their relationship isn't beyond saving, but it will take work, compromise, and a willingness to confront their deepest fears. The following weeks are a mixture of progress and setbacks. Camila and Aaron agree to couples counseling, something neither had considered before. Their therapist helps them navigate their communication struggles, offering tools to express their feelings without blame. Camila also takes time for herself, rediscovering passions she'd set aside. She starts a yoga class and joins a local art group, activities that allow her to reconnect with who she is outside of her roles as a wife and professional. Aaron, inspired by her efforts, begins to loosen his rigid routines. One evening, he surprises Camila by planning a spontaneous date night, a small but meaningful gesture that reminds her of the man she fell in love with. There are still moments of doubt and tension. Old habits are hard to break, and rebuilding trust takes time. But with each step forward, they feel a little closer to the partnership they once had, one built on mutual respect, love, and a shared willingness to grow. In the final scene, Camila and Aaron sit on their porch, a quiet evening settling around them. Camila leans into Aaron's side, and for the first time in a long time, she feels at peace. "We still have a lot of work to do," she says softly. Aaron smiles, squeezing her hand. "Yeah, but we're doing it together." Camila and Aaron's story reminds us that relationships are never perfect. They're messy, challenging, and require constant effort. But when two people are willing to face their fears and grow together, even the hardest struggles can lead to something beautiful. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and comment below with your thoughts. I'd love to hear your take on Camila and Aaron's journey. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories about love, life, and everything in between. See you next time.